Welcome to a random ass training hike. I am walking home today instead of walking away from home, so I get there when I get there. Enjoy the scenery. It's a lot warmer today. It's gorgeous, mud, but no snow and no falling on my ass today, hopefully. I thought for sure I was fucking lost. Like, I've been on the streets for fucking ever, all the way through here, and I thought this doesn't match my map. But up here, where the trail closure starts, there's no sign. Yeah, I was just following the white blazes, doing what you always do. Jeez. At least I'm finally back. It's another long hike day. Training hike, random ass hiking. I blame Ryan for coming up with the idea of either picking me up or dropping me off, because that seems to be the only fun way to do things. Today, Ryan has left for a trip down to the States, so I took advantage of my parents who live in Burlington, and I thought I would switch it up today. So my mom dropped me off up here. Crawford Lake is just behind me, and so I'm walking back to my parents' place, because where my parents live is where I grew up, most obviously, and there's a blue side trail that takes you pretty much right to my parents' doorstep within about a kilometer or so. So that whole section up there, which I will be ending on today, is the section that I essentially grew up hiking almost daily as a child. So anyway, this is training hike number 3, and it is significantly colder today than it was last week. Last week I was out in a long sleeve shirt only. Today it's cold, and it's not going to get any warmer. In fact, it's calling for possible rain, maybe some snow. Who knows? It's the end of March. What do you expect? I don't know. I would expect something slightly warmer though, that's for sure. Hello, car. Well, here we are on hike number 4, and so far this is the coldest it's been. It's April 1st today. I fucking hate winter. Let the dog go by. Yeah, this is bloody well cold, which means that this GoPro is probably not going to work very much. I chose a hike today that's like a loop with a bailout point if I don't want to do the last bit of it, which I may or may not. I'm about an hour's drive from home, so I don't know, it could take a while. And with it being this cold and snowy, I don't know how long I want to be out in the cold. My hands are freezing. Gotta put my gloves over my gloves. Fucking Canadian winters, eh? Spring started a couple weeks ago. Someone didn't tell Mother Nature that, because this is fucking bullshit. This is likely the last hike that I'm gonna do, training hike, without my pack. Mostly loaded pack, because I gotta start hiking with that thing. It's just nice to not hike with it and cover a lot of kilometers, but none of this has really been hurting that much, so it's time to do it with weight, because that's how it's gonna really be. Also, because the last few weeks have been so cold and there's no avoiding muddy, wet feet, I have very, very old pair of Gore-Tex socks on over top of my other socks. They're not very comfortable. I don't like them, but maybe, and I also don't think they're going to be waterproof because they're so old. I don't think they work anymore, but maybe they will aid in keeping my feet less freezing solid. Ye old Bruce. He's a rocky son of a bitch. With the amount of the Bruce Trail that I have hiked so far, which is a large majority of it, I kind of feel like this terrain right here makes up probably 75-80% of the trail. I probably prefer, more than anything, being alone. Actually, that's not true. I do like being alone. If I had a choice, though, I'd always rather have Ryan with me, because he's my BFF. But Ryan, his knees aren't doing so good, so hiking is probably very painful for him, unfortunately. So he can't join me on these things. Not that he would want to. I don't really think this is 100% his thing. But sometimes I do kind of wish I had some company. These days can feel really long. And I have a couple friends. One friend was supposed to join me this morning, at least for a little bit. But she couldn't make it. And I have another friend who said he would hike with me, but most people kind of function on a Monday to Friday type of thing as far as work goes. Me, I'm self-employed, so I get most of my work done on the weekends actually, because there's nobody there to interrupt me and bug me. So weekends are a big time for me to work, which allows me to take a day off kind of in the middle of the week whenever I want. And I've chosen Fridays because generally Fridays are kind of quiet in my work world because, you know, people are checked out on Fridays. So I don't get hassled as much with phone calls and emails. I mean, I still get them out here and I just fucking ignore them as much as I can. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, and I prefer to go places where that was weird. I prefer to go places where there aren't people. So I don't want to go out on the weekend because that's when other people are out on the trails. And that's not my jam. I like to be alone, but maybe with a friend. I don't know. This tree stump must be really important. Come on, turkey vultures, do something. Ah, yes. Bye. This is what I brought to eat today. It's chickpea cookie dough. Really, the ingredients are chickpeas, a shit ton of peanut butter, and chocolate chips. Oh, and a little bit of maple syrup. It's so good. Is this spoon now super duper ultralight? Like those tiny little toothbrushes? This is probably one of the only good times of year to come to Hilton Falls. It's a very busy, popular place. It's easily accessible. Oh, Penny. Been here many, many, many times. They've got some really difficult, rugged mountain bike trails. They've got wide gravel, like family hike paths. And the Bruce Trail goes through it. Well, side trail. The main trail goes down to the parking lot and continues south to Queenston. But I'm heading back up to form some kind of loop with where I parked up there. It's nice to have a big
loop option. A lot of these side trails are not long at all, but this one forms a huge loop. So I'm taking advantage, because if there's one thing about me, I fucking hate out and backs. And I do the same thing when I'm running and cycling. If there's any possible way to avoid an out and back, I will somehow form a loop out of it. I just hate it. Even if it means going out one street, crossing over to a parallel street and running back, which is my regular route around home. That feels better than going out, turning around, and coming back. Asshole dog owner. What do I do as a dog owner with my dog's poo? Bury it. That's what I do with my own poo. Why is it so bad with her poo? You don't pick it up with a non-biodegradable plastic bag and then leave it on the fucking side of the trail. What good does that do? Why do people do that? And they always do it too. Two options. Penny, I don't know if you can see her, has chosen that option. Well, she's a dog, so she doesn't really know what she's chosen. One way where Penny is 2 kilometers back to the car. It's like 30 minutes. The other way was my original planned route, is 8 kilometers back to the car. So we have 30 minutes or 2 hours. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. And I'm cold and it's snowing. I haven't decided yet. This video is gonna have way too much of me talking. I did say I was gonna talk more. I chose the long way, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself because I really didn't want to, but I did. but I didn't. I wanted to go back to the car because it meant I would get home sooner. It's so easy to come up with excuses to do or to not do something you don't feel like doing. It's cold out here. I've been cold all day. Haven't taken my down jacket off once. It's hovered around -5 degrees all day. It keeps snowing and sleeting on and off. It's been windy, gray, cloudy, kind of miserable. My nose actually hurts from blowing snot rockets and rubbing snot. Yeah, that's a bunch of excuses. Other excuses like just getting home sooner, home to real food sooner, home to hot coffee sooner, home to hot shower, hot tub, home to comfy clothes, home to catch up with my emails sooner because I do have to do that when I get home. Everything. There's a lot of home, like my legs hurt a little bit, so you know, another number of kilometers could be a little bit more pain on my legs, etc., etc. It's very easy to come up with excuses. It's very difficult to keep pushing when you just don't want to. And a lot of that first attempt at the Bruce Trail was me pushing when I really didn't want to, because it's ingrained. I texted Ryan and I said, I'm so stubborn. I go, I chose a longer route. Then I said, I'm my own worst enemy. And then he texted back replying, what did he reply? Oh, here we go. He texted back replying, but isn't that what people do that like to challenge themselves? And it kind of made my head explode a little bit, because he's right. He's right. He's 100% right. I never really thought about that before, especially when I think about how I myself have dealt with physical challenges over the years, and I'm never satisfied unless I push further, harder, longer. If I don't finish something I'm doing with very sore legs, then it was not considered success in my mind. And that's not something I'm overly proud of, because it has gotten me into a lot of sticky situations where I have, don't fall, called for a lot of pickups over the years because I pushed beyond my limits. I don't play within them. I play outside my limits. I don't know what it is about me. I don't know. This is sometimes why I wish I had people around me to say, no, let's take the shorter route back and let's grab a coffee on our way home and take our time. And I mean, most normal people, that's probably what they would do. But because I'm by myself, I don't have the voice of reason. Not within myself, not as another outside voice. I'm kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't want to call myself stupid, but like, it's really, I just think of myself as stubborn. I don't know when to say stop. So here I am thinking that, well, last week I hiked almost 30 kilometers. The week before I hiked almost 30 kilometers. So therefore, that is the new standard. Can't go less than that. That would be failure. I see a white blaze and a white blaze. Like, it's not actually failure, and I don't believe that one bit, but something deep down inside me is just ridiculously determined, and it is to my detriment sometimes. So I chose the longer route, and it is what it is. And as soon as I started hiking down the longer route trail, I just accepted it. Looked at my clock and I thought, all right, probably about 2 hours. You know, what is the difference? 30 minutes versus 2 hours? I've already been hiking for, I don't know, 20K at that point. Didn't really matter that much. The emails will still be there. The hot tub and the shower and the food and the coffee. It'll all be there. Just maybe 2 hours later than I wanted it to be. And now we hit the fucking mud. Oh,
Kiss me if I'm with a huh? Kiss me if I'm with a huh?
it's mostly fur. Asshole.